Welcome to the PJ Hoop Podcast. I'm your host, PJ, and man, it feels good to be back. I've been off for about 3 weeks now, and I'm really happy that I took that time away to kind of just decompress and like refocus and realign myself. But man, it's time to get the summer kicked off for us. I mean, there's a lot of basketball that has taken place over the summer. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the Top 100 Camp. We're going to talk about the FIBA U19 World Championship tournament. We're also going to talk about the Peach Jam. Next week, we'll talk about the NBA Summer League. We'll check in on NBA free agency because we haven't talked about that at all on my pod yet. I've been waiting to try to let things kind of simmer down in that. So we'll talk about those two things next week. And then also something I want to let you guys know. I've been telling you guys that I'm going to have a spinoff episode called PJ and Friends coming up in the fall. In honor of that, my very first episode, I'm going to have two of my dearest friends come on. We're going to talk about our NFL playoff predictions. Well, not our playoff predictions, but we're going to talk about our playoff teams. And we're going to talk about a little bit of NFL on my first spinoff episode. And that's going to come probably towards the end of August. I'll have them come on. So you're not going to want to miss that. That's going to be a spinoff episode. I'm still going to do my normal basketball episode during that week, but also I'm going to have a spinoff episode with my friends come on. We're going to talk some football. And they're just going to be my first guest that I'm on. I'm going to have all types of people come on that spinoff episode. So you're not going to want to miss that. I think that's going to be something that people are really going to gravitate to and really enjoy watching. But anyways, pertaining to today, let's just jump right into it. Before I really dive into all the camps today, I just want to give a big shout out to Caleb Holt. He's had a great summer. Truth be told, the last couple months he's had a great summer and even a great spring. If you're not familiar with who Caleb Holt is, he is the number, I believe, 6 rated player in class of 2026. He's a shooting guard. He's about 6'5". I really like his game. I really do like his game. He hasn't committed to a school yet, but he's had a crazy summer. Thus far, he won the MVP and he won the title at the Adidas Euro camp in Italy. He also won the gold medal with Team USA with their U19 team. He won the gold with them. And then also he won the title at the Adidas 3 SSB championship. I mean, he won that title, yeah, with his team. Their team name, I think, was Game Elite Squad or something like that. But, yeah, he's been on a tear this summer. So I just really wanted to give him a shout-out before I dive into some of these camps. But with that being said, let's dive straight into it. We're going to start off with So we're going to kick things off with the Top 100 Camp. This took place June 9th through the 13th. Some notable NBA players / legends that were kind of hosting the camp and kind of at the camp. We had Kyrie, we had Hakeem Olajuwon, we had Sean Livingston, we had Andre Drummond, and then we also had Isaiah Thomas, University of Washington. Isaiah Thomas. I want to give a shout out to the 2 teams that went undefeated at the camp. There was no championship game, but shout out to Team Gibson and shout out to Team Johnson. I just want to talk about a couple players from this camp. Obviously, I got a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about in this episode, so I won't be able to cover every single player that I really liked or every little thing that I noticed. So just keep that in mind as we're going through this, okay? But also down in the comment section below, let me know what players did you like at the camp if I didn't name a player, right? So let's start off with the first player I want to talk about is Dylan Mingo. He is the number 7 rated player in the class of 2026. He's about 6'5". He's a shooting guard. He actually ended up winning MVP of the tournament. His team's record, they ended up going 4-1. Dylan, during this tournament, he averaged 24 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.5 steals. He shot 57% from the field. He shot 35% from 3 on 4 attempts, and he shot 77% from the free throw line on 5.5 attempts. I'm really looking forward to see how he does his senior year. Another player that I was not familiar with, but will for sure be on my radar moving forward. This kid he's rated the number 18th kid in class of 2026. His name is Caden Samuels. He's 6'5" with a 6'11" wingspan. His team record, they went 2-3 at the tournament, but he did earn all tournament honors. And during the tournament, he averaged 26 points, which was first in the tournament. He averaged 10 rebounds, which was first as well. He averaged 2 assists, about a half a steal a game. He shot 54% from the field. He shot 37% from 3 on 7 attempts. And he shot 79% from the free throw line on 4 attempts. I think, and he also finished 4th in offensive efficiency at the camp. He's rated 18th right now, but from what I've seen, he could be top 10 by this time next year. So watch out. His name is Caden Samuels. So watch out for him. Another player I want to talk about from the camp that really, like, again, another player I didn't know of, but I think could be, a really good college player in the future. He's the 45th rated player in class of 2026. His name is Joe Filan. He's a 6'8" power forward. He was actually on Team Gibson, who went 5-0. He averaged 14 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1.5 steals a game and 1 block a game. He shot 65% from the field. He shot 12% from 3 on 1.5 attempts, but he shot 71% from the free throw line on 4 attempts. So that was a player I just was not familiar with, but I did like what I seen out of him at the camp. So again, that's somebody that I'll be keeping my eyes out on during his senior year and then going into the recruiting cycle heading into next summer. Another player that I want to give some love to at the camp, he's the number 1 rated player in class of 2027. I hope I don't botch his name, but we'll see. His name is Babatunde Alo Datono. I cannot pronounce his last name or even his first name, but he's a 6'9". I think he's a small forward personally, but by the time he gets, to college, he might end up being a power forward because he's already 6'9". But yeah, so he's a small forward. His team went 0-4 at the tournament. He did make all tournament team. And honestly, I've been following Baba since spring of 2024 is when I first learned about him. I came across a clip. He was playing for, I think one of Kevin Durant's teams, or maybe it was CP3's maybe for a CP3 AAU team. Anyways, I came across him last year in the spring. I might have talked about him actually on the pod during the fall, maybe last fall. I might have talked about him. But anyways, at the tournament, he averaged 16.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block. He shot 50% from the field. He shot 46% from 3 on 3 attempts. He shot 53% from the free throw line. To me, and like I said, I've been watching him since last spring. To me, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Brandon Ingram. I know some people say Kevin Durant, but let's be real. Everybody is 6'9" that can somewhat dribble on the perimeter. They all want to say he's Kevin Durant, but he don't remind me of Kevin Durant. He remind me more of like a Brandon Ingram type of player. But I'm excited to see if he ends up holding his number 1 spot moving forward. Because again, he's class of 2027, so he'll be a junior. Yeah, he'll be a junior. He'll be a junior this year. So I'm just curious to keep my eyes out on him. Some other players that I want to give some love to that were at the camp. I want to give a big shout out to Hakeem Olajuwon's son, Abdul Olajuwon. He's a 4-star, but he did very well at the tournament. He averaged 20 points on 56% shooting, and he was also all-tournament team, and he finished in the tournament 2nd in offensive efficiency. I want to give some love to Anthony Black's little brother, Beckham Black. He just looked very solid, in my opinion. Another player who I didn't know of, his name is Colbin Landrew. He was a pure bucket. He was getting pure buckets all tournament. He was very efficient. He finished 5th actually in offensive efficiency. And 2 more players I want to give some love to at this specific camp. Another one is Sion Keita. He actually won defensive player for that tournament. He averaged 3 blocks per game, and mind you, he's only 16 years old. I learned about him. Like 2 months ago? I came across him about 2 months ago, but kept my eyes out on him. He had a really good tournament. Another last player I want to give some love to at this specific tournament is Darren Rippey Jr. I believe Darren Rippey's a guard. I don't have it in front of me, but I think he's a point guard. I think he's about 6'3", but he was doing a little bit of everything at the tournament. And he also was on the all-tournament team as well. So you guys let me know down in the comments section what players did you really like at the Top 100 camp. And like I said, I'm sorry that I don't really have the time to deep dive on each player like as deeply as I want to, just because I'm trying to keep the episode under a good amount of time for you guys, because we still got a lot more, two more things to get through. But yeah, those are the players that I really liked at the tournament. There's other guys that kind of like caught my eye that I'll keep my eyes out for moving forward. But again, big shout out to those guys that I shouted out for that specific tournament. So the next tournament that I want to talk to you guys about, it's going to be the FIBA U19 World Championship. Team USA ended up winning the tournament. They ended up going 7-0 during the tournament. They ended up beating Germany in the championship game. By the way, Germany went 6-1 in this tournament with their only loss coming against USA. This is the first time that Germany's ever medaled in this tournament. They ended up obviously winning the silver. So I still want to give a shout out to Germany. They got some college players on that team that I'm gonna cover on And very shortly, I'm going to talk about. But yeah, I want to give a shout out to Germany before I talk about some of these other players. Because like I said, good job for Germany for being, this first time medaling. But let's dive into it. Let's talk about the player that ended up winning MVP of the championship game, and that's AJ DeBontis. So they gave him the MVP award over Mikael Brown Jr. I don't think it's because of his performance in the championship game. I think it's because of his performance against Canada, to be honest with you guys. Canada was the closest game that they had all tournament. In that Canada game, I don't have it in front of me, but I know AJ was like ultra aggressive, like more aggressive than he was in every other game. And his efficiency, I know his efficiency was much better than the Mikael Brown in that game against Canada. I know in that game, Mikael Brown had about 8 assists against Canada. I think 8 assists, like three turnovers. And he got to the free throw line quite a bit himself. But from the field, he shot really bad. I think he only shot like 35% from the field, whereas AJ was like really efficient from the field. I think he shot like 62% from the field or, something crazy. But then he got to the free throw line. He ended up taking like 14 free throws. So that's why I think he won MVP. But anyways, AJ DeBontis, he's a 6'9", small forward / power forward. He's going to BYU this fall if you're not familiar with him. I've talked about him quite a bit on the pod. But yeah, so he ended up making the all-tournament team. He won the MVP. His biggest game, again, was against Canada. During the tournament, he ended up averaging 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover. He shot 50% from the field on 8 attempts. He shot 11% from 3 on 3 attempts, and he shot 84% from the free throw line on 7 attempts. Another player I want to talk about was, his teammate that I just named, Mikael Brown Jr. He's a 6'3" point guard / shooting guard. He is going to Louisville this fall. Before I start talking about Mikael Brown, I just want to give some love, man. Louisville's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the ACC this year. I'm genuinely scared for my Duke Blue Devils. Like, Louisville ain't going to be no joke. They for sure are going to be a top 4 team in that conference this year, and they might win the conference. I'm not going to lie. Through the transfer portal, and then when Mikael Brown Jr. come in, and then also their some of the returning guys, Louisville's they're gonna be for real this year. Anyways, I think Mikael Brown Jr. ended up making the all-tournament team. I just told you guys I believed he could have won MVP, I believe. I just think he didn't win it because of his performance against Canada. But I think Mikael Brown Jr., I think he's going to be a lottery pick in the next NBA draft. I feel pretty comfortable saying that, just the way he moves with the ball, his shooting. He has really good length he has some pretty long arms, and I just really like his game. I'm excited to watch him at Louisville. I'm like really, really excited. And he's going to, it's going to be a pretty mature Louisville team. It's going to be a lot of transfers, but it's going to be fun watching him navigate that. I'm very excited to watch that. But at this tournament, Mikael ended up averaging 15 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. He shot 47% from the field on 11 attempts. He shot 47.5% from 3 on 6 attempts, and he shot 82% from the free throw line on 2 attempts. Again, I think he's going to be a lottery pick in next year's draft. I just feel really comfortable saying that. Another player that I want to talk about, he actually plays for Germany. His name is Hannes Steinbach. I hope I didn't botch his name. But he's a 6'9" power forward. He's going to University of Washington this fall. He also ended up making the all-tournament team. Like I just told you guys, Germany won the silver medal. During this tournament, he ended up averaging 17 points, 13 rebounds, which the 13 rebounds was second in the tournament. He averaged 2 assists, a half a steal, 1 block, 2 turnovers. He shot 66% from the field on 10 attempts. He shot 22% from 3 on 1 attempt, and he shot 78% from the free throw line on 5 attempts. That is a player for sure that I will be watching out for at University of Washington next year. I'm very interested to watch how he plays. I really like his game. He plays a very bump and grind game. I just like it. I like his game. Another player that I want to talk about, and this is the last player I'll talk about from this specific tournament. His name is Tyler Kropp. He's a 6'8" small forward for Argentina. He's going to be going to Northwestern this fall. During the tournament, he averaged 22 points, which led the overall tournament. He averaged 10 rebounds, which was 4th during the tournament. He averaged 2 assists, a half a steal, a half a block. He averaged 3 turnovers. He shot 57% from the field on 13 attempts. He shot 57% from 3 on 2 attempts, and he shot 82.5% from the free throw line on 6.5 attempts. I didn't know who he was until this tournament, but he just popped. He just popped to me when I was watching him, and I was like, okay, let me do my homework on this guy. Okay, I seen he's going to Northwestern. And so he's somebody I'll be keeping my eyes out on for sure at Northwestern. Interested to see what his role looks like. I don't know much about Northwestern basketball. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So I don't know if he's going to start, if he's even going to play. Okay, I have no idea. But it's something that I will for sure be keeping in the back of my mind as I go into the college basketball season. There was other guys at this tournament that I really liked, but I didn't take the time to write down their names. I know one name was what is his name? Omar. I think it's Amir, like Meyer or something like that. I really liked him. I think he plays for Israel. I really liked him. There was another guy that played for Germany too. I think he was a big guy too. I think Christian Anderson I think he played for Germany. No, he didn't play for Germany. He played for Germany last year. But yeah, there were other players at this tournament I really liked too. I just didn't take the time to write down their names and stuff. Again, because I'm just trying to keep this episode not too long, So those are the players that I really liked that really stood out to me at this tournament. Again, shout out to Team USA, but it just shows that the world is catching up to us, right? Germany, it's their first time medaling. Canada took us down to the wire. These other countries around the world, man, they're starting to get it, right? They're starting to get it. So USA, you better tighten up, man, or we're going to lose our throne. The next tournament that we're going to talk about is going to be the Peach Jam. But before I do that, I ended up looking at it, and yeah, Christian Anderson did play for Germany again this summer. I couldn't remember if he did or not, but he did, because he also played for them last summer as well. I think he's going back to Texas Tech again this year. He was on my top 30 list last summer. But then also another dude, his name was Eric Reb. He plays for Germany. He's going to be going to, I believe Gonzaga is the school. All I know is he was at this tournament too, and I really like watching him too. So I'm going to keep my eyes out on him at Gonzaga as well. I'm pretty sure he's going to Gonzaga. Or UConn. No, he's going to UConn. He's going to UConn. He's not going to Gonzaga. I think he's going to UConn. But anyways, all right, I'm sorry. I just had to get those names out there. And the other dude's name is Omar Meyer. He is from Israel too. But he's not, I don't think he's coming overseas. I think he's going to play over there this fall. But okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is going to be the Peach Jam. Sorry, I've been up since 2 this morning. I had work. But anyways, I'll talk about the Peach Jam with you guys. Brad Beal Elite. They ended up winning. They ended up becoming the Peach Jam champs. So shout out to them. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think they won last year for their age group too. I think they did. I just can't remember. Anyways, I want to talk about a couple players from this camp. So the first being, I want to talk about, he's the number 5 rated player in class of 2026. His name is Jason Crow Jr. He's a 6'3". He actually just recently, not that long ago, committed to the University of Missouri. His team record, they ended up going 3-2 during this tournament, but he led the Peach Jam tournament in scoring. He averaged 26.5 points per game. He averaged 3 assists, 2.5 rebounds. He shot 45% from the field. He shot 53% on twos. He shot 34% on threes, and he shot 83% from the free throw line. Against Brad Beal's elite champ, against Bradley Beal's elite team, he ended up dropping 36 points, and I mean he put on a show. He shot 52% from the field, 12 of 23 shooting. He shot 5 of 13 from 3, which is 38.5%. He put on a show against the champs, man. He was a one-man crew all tournament long. Another player that I was not familiar with, but I think potentially could be a riser just based off of what I watched him do at the tournament. He's rated number 17 in class of 2027. His name is Caden Daughtry. Right now he's 6 foot point guard. He actually led the Peach Jam in 3-point shooting at 50% on 5 attempts per game. He had a couple of 29-point games, back-to-back 29-point games. One against the team that ended up making it to the finals, the New York, it was the NY Wrens is the name of that team. But against the runner-up, he ended up putting on his show. During this tournament, he averaged 20 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He shot 49% from the field. He shot 49% from 2. He shot 50% on threes, like I just told you guys. And he shot 76% from the free throw line. I also think he's a better free throw shooter than what he shot at the Peach Jam. I mean, overall in EYBL, which is about a 16-game sample size, he shot 81% from the free throw line. If this kid gets to 6'2", 6'3", watch out. I think he's somebody that's probably going to rise up on boards. I think he's going to rise up from 17. I really liked what I seen at him at the tournament. Another player that I want to talk about, he's number 13. He's rated number 13 in class of 2026. He goes by JJ. His real name is Jashawn Andrews. He's 6'6", small forward. He's going to University of Arkansas. He played for Brad Beal Elite, the champs. Very balanced attack. He was for sure. The team as a whole had a very balanced attack, right? But he was the best player on the team, in my opinion, by far. He ended up winning MVP of the tournament. And during the tournament, he averaged 18.5 points, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals. He shot 47% from the field. He shot 50.5% on twos. He didn't make any threes. He took 7 total threes during this whole tournament, and he shot 73% from the free throw line. I'm interested to see how he does this year as a senior. But then also at Arkansas, I'm interested to see if he can, work on that jump shot and get that up to speed. But otherwise, I think he'll be a solid player at Arkansas regardless. But I'm interested to see if he got more to his game, The last player that I want to talk about at this tournament, and I actually learned about this next kid. I learned about him. This was a couple months ago. It's been a couple months. I came across him and literally I was just watching a video and he was just warming up shooting, right? He was just shooting the ball and I was like, oh, I really like his jump shot. I like his form, right? And then I just ended up searching up his name and he ends up being rated the number 2 rated kid in his class. He's ranked number 2 in class of 2028. So he'll be a sophomore. His name is AJ Williams. He's 6'6". Like I just told you guys, I like his jumper a lot. I literally was just watching a warm-up video of him shoot. I was like, oh, I like his jumper. So I just ended up searching him up and came across him. But also I like how he moves, right? So they also, in his class, because he's obviously a lot younger, so his team ended up winning. His team is the Georgia Stars. They won the Peach Jam E15 championship. He ended up averaging throughout the tournament. He averaged 20 points, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, 1.5 steals. He shot 46% from the field. He shot 52% on twos. He shot 34% on threes. He shot 77% from the free throw line. And during the championship game, this just tells you a little bit about this kid. During the championship game, he had 28 points in the championship game. But he did shoot horrible from the field. I'm not going to excuse that. But he did shoot great from the free throw line, and he was very, very aggressive throughout the game. And to me, that just showed his want and will to win. He ended up taking 16 free throws. He made 15 of them, so that's about 94%. But also the thing that really struck me was that he played this same team twice, right? So he played them in the championship game, and then he played them, I believe it was either the first or second game earlier in the tournament. And he shot really bad during that first game. This team, played really good defense on him throughout the tournament. But it just screamed to me his mentality at that young of an age, right? First game, shoots horrible. They're locking him up, basically. He's not doing anything. And for him to come back in the championship game to be like, nah, you guys y'all can't hold me, right? I'm going to get mine. And he got his, right? He just got it the old-fashioned way at the free throw line. So, for sure, a kid that I will be keeping my eyes out for the next couple years. Like I said, I like his jumper. I like the way he shoots the ball and the way he moves on the court as well. He really works in that mid-range area pretty well too. So I really like that about his game. Obviously, he's super young, so it's hard for me to sit up here. I ain't gonna sit up here and say nothing outlandish about him, But I just like what I've seen from him thus far. And I'll be just watching as his game matures and gets somewhere, So that's just somebody I wanted to throw at you guys because, like I said, I like the way he moves and stuff. So that's the end of this episode. Next time you guys will see me, we will be discussing the NBA Summer League. We'll talk about some free agency, but then also we'll touch on the FIBA U Euro Championship that's taking place currently right now. I'm waiting for that to wrap up before I start talking about people overseas that I really like. And so, yeah, I'm kind of waiting on to talk about that next one. But otherwise, I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my podcast today. And PJ is